Welcome to The Good Work, a podcast and video series that follows The Event Company, an event design company that specializes in corporate, nonprofit, and social events. Our passion lies in creating one-of-a-kind events that share the good work of organizations we are fortunate to collaborate with. Tune in for conversations with leaders of these great groups, our best advice for your next event, and some behind-the-scenes moments. Now, let us show you the good work. At the Event Company, we build dreams every day, but we have a talented group of professionals that help us make those dreams happen. Today, you'll be introduced to Chris Hintz, founder of Pinnacle Productions. Chris and Addie will discuss the importance of AV at events, collaborations that take them across the country, and some of the highlights from our events together. Please welcome to today's vodcast, Chris Hintz. Welcome back, everybody, to today's vodcast. We have Chris Hintz of Pinnacle Productions here. Welcome.
Hey, how are you, Eddie?
Hey, that sounded real official. Hey.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
I know. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Gosh, we were just talking before we started filming that we've known each other for 4 years this month, actually.
Yep.
And it's crazy. We're trying to remember our first event together, but we really cannot remember.
I can't at all.
There have been so many of them.
We had to actually look through the calendars, like you said, just to figure out exactly.
It's nuts.
How we first started collaborating. So
we've been doing stuff together for 4 years now, but you've had Pinnacle Productions for 16 almost?
Yeah. We kind of founded in 2002, but I don't really count that first year because there was really nothing. It was more like conceptual of what we wanted to do.
Like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, we did my first wedding we did, and that was the first event that Pinnacle ever did, really. And then the year one, so it had been like 2002, and then in 2003 we did like 2 or 3 mainly charitable events, where they were looking for someone to play music for exposure and such, and so that first year we really didn't do anything paid, but we had our first like official contract signed in 2004 up in Madison. So
crazy.
That's why I say it's like almost 15 years.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I mean, would you ever imagine like where you are today?
No.
With events and all the production side.
No.
And we're going to get a little bit more into today about all the stuff that Pinnacle Productions does, because it's not just DJing, right?
No.
But that's how it started.
That's exactly how it started.
So walk us through like what's taken place over the last 15 years and how you got your name.
Well, naming is funny. I mean, I've seen multiple threads about how you pick a name.
Yeah.
Is a name important? And I believe that a name is extremely important.
Yeah.
And I think it has to resonate with a lot of people. It can't be just something that's cliquey or fashionable now or trend-setting right now, because if you're going to have something long-term, like there has to be something more than
substantial.
Yeah.
And it needs to roll off the tongue. I always think and nothing against those cheeky names out there, but when I don't know what you do, it's kind of, I don't know, it creates conversation, which is awesome, but sometimes it's confusing to people as well. But
yeah, it has to be instantly recognizable, I think.
Yeah.
So for us, when we were looking at names, like there were multiple names that we looked at, and I kept coming back to like Apex or Pinnacle because it meant to be the top, and it's very, it's probably a little arrogant to come out with a new company and say Pinnacle Productions because
you've done 2 events.
Yeah, and they were both charity. So but for us it was like long term. Like if you know me or if you know my business partner, neither one of us are really comfortable celebrating average. Like we want to push and do more, and when I was in sales, my goal was to be the number 1 salesman every month. And when I was in athletics, my goal was to be the best volleyball player, basketball, or football player that you could be. So like for me, it was about pushing. And Pinnacle was supposed to be something that we did on the weekends to make money instead of go out and spending money, because my wife at the time and I were very social people. We like to go out and have fun, and we wanted to make money instead of spend money. So for us, that was kind of our outlet, and it was really fun. So
good for you.
Yeah.
And then you merged forces with this cute little DJ.
Yes.
Graphic
Jeff,
designer, marketing guru, everything.
Yeah.
Jeff Muslar, who's not here with us today.
No, but
AKA DJ Core.
Yeah. Got to keep that in there for him.
I know.
But yeah, we Jeff and I developed a friendship about 10 years ago. and he was playing at a bar down in T, and one of my mutual friends. So I'm like, so who's this guy? I say you have him a couple of times. Oh, he's so great and he's so awesome. And I'm like, cool. So Jeff has told this story a couple of times, but so I reached out to him via Facebook. I'm like, hey Jeff, my friend Mel says that you're a dope DJ. You want to have lunch sometime.
Did you use that word dope? Dope?
No, probably
not. Is that like a cool word still? Dope.
No, it's I'm aging
10 years
myself
ago.
here, right?
10 years ago.
No, but I heard he was an amazing DJ and wanted to meet him. And so we started talking and he has told other people, he's like, who's this old white guy trying to like talk to me? So, but we developed a really good friendship and we had collaborated on a few events together, and I guess the stars aligned in such a fashion that, I knew that for me, I was in a transition period, whether I was going to go smaller and be very, very boutique or whether we were going to push. And I didn't want to do the pushing alone again. I'd pushed for a long time and we did some pretty miraculous and incredible things in the first, I would say, rendition of our company in Pinnacle 1.0 all the way to 1.9. But it really changed a lot when Jeff and I, merging of the minds, and our work ethic is pretty strong, and he's strong in areas I'm not, and I'm strong in areas that he's not. And so it makes a pretty good partnership. But no, I couldn't have imagined, 15 years ago that this would be where we are. I knew there was potential, but I had no idea. And
did you guys merge together? Is that the right word? Merging?
Yeah,
in a sense. Mm-hmm. Similar to when we met. Was that back then? It was about 2014-ish?
Legitimately then.
Yeah.
Because you and I had met for the Sparkle Bridal Tour, I believe was the first time we kind of discussed that. And then when we met above Wiley's back at our old office,
so long ago,
Jeff and I had like literally signed papers in June to form Pinnacle Productions LLC. So so it's legit. When you came on and we had this, collaboration is when Jeff and I officially made our collaboration legal.
And I had always heard of Pinnacle Productions and, aligning ourselves also with the best in the business. It was something that I wanted to make sure from starting out.
Sure.
But I'd known of Core as well. I think everyone's like, oh, DJ Core, he's a celebrity DJ. And so I think, not that I don't say that about you. But,
no, it's different.
It's like he's just this younger.
Yes. By 10 years. Yeah.
Guy who was doing like 104.7 stuff and all these awesome parties and the nightlife and all those different things. So I think it's perfect. You guys, you're exactly right. I think you guys balance each other out so well in that respect. And even the collaborations that we've done together over the last 4 years have truly changed from basic, not going to say basic, but
kind of basic.
Elevated, in a sense, to now we're doing video panels, and we have this conversation just this week about these, what would you call those tents that we're talking about, doing some design work in those tents?
Yeah, these clear spans.
Open clear. Yeah, I mean, there's so many of these different things that we're working on together, so it's pretty awesome to kind of see where it all goes back. But you and I were talking, I think the first one was the Sparkle Bridal Tour.
Yep.
Or in a fashion show.
Yeah.
Now we're doing conferences and galas and outdoor events, and really there is no limit to the different things that we've done over these years.
No, we've pushed a lot of barriers over the last few years. I mean, together in a collaborative space. It's.
Do you ever get sick of us though, Chris?
No. You have to.
we're kind of like brother and sister though. I mean, we do a lot of stuff outside of the workplace together, and our families get together, so it's kind of fun in that respect. And we've been a part of family events together, which is awesome. Different weddings on the team, and your wedding, your wedding.
Yeah. No, it's great relationships don't just like, it's not just about a business relationship. Yeah. It's about like having vested interest in seeing, your company thrive and grow and your people thrive and grow. And to have that level of comfort to know that when we are working an event together, there is like very little that the client will ever worry about, and we'll advocate for them, whether that puts us in a bad position with some people, so be it. But our goal is to create a great event together, and the friendships that we've, developed because of those events is, you have to love what you do, and you have to love the people you work with. And so it doesn't feel like work.
It's not transactional with us at all. And it never is. Even with our events, though, you and I both have the kind of that same mindset, even with some of our clients and the events that we do. We do a lot of repeat events as well, but that's how we do our business. We're very relational. It's not about transactions. It's not about the bottom dollar, the bottom line. It's about how to create this experience for our groups, our clients, and even for us. I mean, I think of just recently, last month, we did Sanford Profiles events. We were together some days for 20 hours a day, right? So, I mean, we really have to like each other a lot if we are working together that closely.
And
we love each other at the end.
Yeah,
you
totally.
know? And there were 3 events that week. So it's not just the one. So there's multiples on top.
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's good because there's always good communication, good direction. And we both know, I think, that at the end of the day, we both have each other's best interest at heart.
For sure.
Which is what makes it work.
And we're really good at flying by the seat of our pants, too, when stuff does not. I mean, you literally flew. You flew. We talked about this in a recent podcast about flying underneath of the stage and Chris's great stature running and going. There's nothing that we will not do for our clients.
No, there really isn't. And if it can happen, we're going to make it happen.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. What does Pinnacle Productions all do? For those of you that are or those that are listening or watching, it's not just about the DJ or the lighting pieces. What all do you guys handle and take care of?
Well, like you said, it used to be primarily just playing music, fun music for fun people, and it's really transitioned into creating experiences. And however we're able to create that experience, whether it's through media, whether it's through video panels, whether it's through stage design. Our goal is to create the best events we can. And, people use the word experience like it's a buzzword, but it really is everything. If people don't walk in and aren't blown away by how you produce, how you present, how are you going to create, brand awareness? How do you create an excited sales force? How do you, get people to resonate with the cause? You have to do things that create an experience for people. And that's something that they're going to remember. They may not remember, exactly the verbiage that was spoken, but they remember walking into that room and being blown away and then leaving feeling energized and different.
It's touching all those senses, right? Like how they feel when they walk in, what are they seeing, what are they hearing? All of those different sensory overloads, which is really super powerful. We both kind of play in that respect.
Totally. And for us, it started with creating an experience for whether it was when we're doing karaoke, for Pete's sakes. I mean, that's, 16 years ago, we were doing a ton of that stuff, and now we're not doing as much of it, but it's basically opportunity. The opportunity was there to perform for, bars and nightclubs. And, our job in the bar and nightclub is to sell drinks. I mean, make no different bones about it. I mean, to play music, yes, but our goal is to make sure that we're drawing in revenue for that venue because they can't afford to hire us if we're not.
Yeah.
And then transitioning that aspect into private events. And what we've done, I think, very successfully is created that emotional connection in the corporate world where it's typically bland and emotionless. It's line item and
where people don't want to go, and now they want to be a part of it.
Right.
I think of I'll just talk about Profile just recently as well. That was an awesome collaboration between Sanford Profile by Sanford, Fresh Produce, our teams. It was a whole bunch of people to create this welcome video for attendees that came from all over the country.
Yep.
And it wasn't just the video piece that played. It was killer sound, killer video panels. We had confetti cannons. There was haze. There was dry ice. There was literally everything. We had backup dancers. I mean, there were so many different pieces that made that opening really the best it could be.
I would agree.
And it's not just walking into a conference space, right?
No. And that's, I think, a pretty heavy responsibility that we have now for our clients is to create that moment where people are blown away. And then that anticipation. And this is what I love, about what we do. I mean, in the wedding industry, it is about creating anticipation, engagement, and authentic and organic involvement, not forced, not the yo-yo, what's up, not that stuff.
Not the chicken dance every time, you mean?
Oh, Lord. Foghorn Leghorns here. So, but regardless, I mean, if you're able to take that anticipation, that engagement, that excitement, and you can put it into an environment where it's typically stale and bland, what can we do? That's what's exciting to me.
So why is AV so important at events? I want to hear more from you because I've done a lot of events where you're just walk in and plug away, right? Where you're using nothing against sound or audio that's already in the venues itself, because some of them are incredible and they're fabulous.
Totally.
But some spaces you get in and there is one mic and one little speaker.
Correct.
Right? So why is audio so important? Let's just talk about the audio and the visual pieces of it, screens, all those. Like why? Why do you think? Because it's an investment.
It is an investment.
But it is about the experience and how you're feeling and how how to push the envelope for them and how to make it memorable, but why?
Well, first of all, I think the number one thing that we do is we connect people with your voice. So having the ability to be intelligibly heard in a cavernous environment or in a very cozy boardroom, those are paramount things. Like they have to connect to your message. They have to connect to your vision. They have to connect to your cause. That's super important. And whether you're using hotel ballroom equipment or whether you're using one of our talented audio engineers to help with that, the goal is to create the best capturing of that message. And audio is number one, period.
Yeah.
And video and all of these other elements, they're meant to reinforce and provide vantage points. So for me, I think AV is one of the most important things that you can do. And I find it not funny, but concerning that people are more than willing to spend $20 a plate 3 times a day for their staff, but they don't want to invest that same amount of money into making sure that they communicate well with their staff.
Aren't you more, I think, you realize it when you go to other events that aren't produced by you? For us anyway, we notice that where the sound is not the way it should be, or the screens are flickering, or it's too difficult to see different things. You can't hear, you can't see. The food is not prepared the way it should be. The flow is not well, right? Aren't you more critical of that?
I think we all are.
Yeah, it's part of the business. I think
it is, but it doesn't. It's not just in our discipline.
Yeah.
When you buy a new car, suddenly you see in that same car everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
It's very similar. So.
Yeah.
But if you care about what you do, you're going to pay attention and you're going to try to find ways that you can improve upon that or make sure that it doesn't happen. And in the AV world, 90% of the people that we work with either have had poor experiences, which is why they're looking for you, or have zero experience of producing an event.
Yeah.
So our goal is to walk in as the expert and try to give them and guide them as best we can, provide exceptional value, and build a long-term relationship. It's not just to take their money once and then never work with them again.
Yeah.
It's to, be on their side, to advocate for them, to understand where they're coming from, to work within some very tight budget constraints sometimes, but to make that event so great that at the end of the day, they can't imagine not working with you.
Yeah. And you're not just doing these locally either. You're doing them all over the country.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about some of those fun events, because you guys are literally everywhere. Hanging with Snoop Dogg, on the golf course with tequila, with Casamigos, and all these different things. Talk to us about what that looks like.
Well, they are also long days. So there are multiple times where, like the Julius Erving Golf Classic, we just got back from our 3rd or 4th edition of that. And last year I was on that event, and I can recall that Sunday, Monday flip that was like 48 hours of being awake straight. And it looks amazing on Instagram and on Facebook, but those are long days. And that's what you have to do to pull these off, because you're working with extremely tight timelines. And you're working with some celebrity that is used to having what they want. Yeah. So our job is just to deliver upon that and hopefully create an environment that, is noticed outside of just our own little 605 area code, which is still the best place to live. But
hashtag 605.
Yeah, right. But some of those have been really, really great. We've worked in Los Angeles and in Las Vegas on multiple events. Jeff, obviously, DJ Core, is tour managed now, and he's been bringing back some of that expertise of how to run a successful tour and how to call a show. He's being hired to do some stuff with Metro PCS. So he's had multiple opportunities now to work in multiple markets, and then he's able to bring that skill set back home to us to be able to really enhance our brand and help put us on hopefully a national map.
What's been the strangest request at any event that you've gotten? And you don't need to call out the event.
Sure.
But the strangest request.
Well, that's a good question.
That's a hard one, huh?
That's a really tough one. The strangest one.
Anything weird with lighting or monograms?
We did have a client request that we, on a marina, haze the whole marina, and then use a laser writer to the boat design or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not easy that's like almost impossible to do.
Wow.
Because you're talking about haze over a lake, for Pete's sakes.
But you'll try anything, right? You'll figure it out.
Yeah, but you just can't promise the results.
We have a client right now who said, we want you to dream big and think outside of the box.
Right.
Like Chris and I were just talking before we started here, and it's fun to be able to do those events and try to think big and dream big. Obviously, sometimes there's budget constraints. We understand that. But we love these events where there are no budgets and you just say, figure it out. And sometimes we collaborate. It's the coolest thing ever.
I think it's good to push those boundaries and to dream that way. It's what makes us all push, stretch, and
that creative energy.
Yeah, continue to be creative instead of putting up the same 2 screens with some P&D and.
But then the hard part, I think, on our team, we talk about this a lot, is what's next, right? Like you are pushing the envelope and you're pushing and pushing. Like how far do you push, right? Before it just becomes basic, like the video panels, for example, or like how. That's the hard part, I think, in our industry is how far do you go with them, right? Before it becomes just, it's just a video panel, which it's not, right? Well, it's not.
Right, not yet.
Yeah.
But that will come.
Yeah.
And then there will be something else.
Yeah.
And whether it's, stage set designs, if we knew exactly what we're going to have like 15 years from now, like I look back 15 years ago and like, look at what we're doing now.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Well, how much
Even
money
5
we
years.
could have spent on light bulbs. I mean, back in the day when we're buying all that stuff. And, I think now our focus is to invest wisely and to be able to get great return on the investment, not just for us, but for our clients, and create the best events we possibly can by working with, fabulous event planners. And
thanks.
But honestly, fabulous brands and companies and organizations and people, because no organization is anything without its people. So it's about connecting that message and using whatever technological advances we can to help people connect to that love of a brand or love of a cause or love of a person.
What do you think's been your most fun event with our team? This is really putting you on the spot.
I really, really like doing the profile event.
Yeah.
Because for us, that was a lot of like firsts.
Yeah. There's a lot of elements though.
It was huge. It was a lot of moving pieces, but it was great because there was this excitement about this project that you had mentioned before with our collaboration, obviously with our 2 companies, but with Fresh Produce as well, and then being asked to be an extra, in that first portion, and then coming back and doing the voiceover stuff.
Yeah, you're super famous right now.
It was super. Well, I'm not sure I was super famous, but put a cape on me maybe. But it was really an exciting collaboration, and then the other thing that I truly feel honored and blessed to be able to be a part of was the legacy event.
Yeah, for the University of South Dakota.
What he has done for that university is
it's so admirable. And I always say, I'm an alum, so I think I have a little bit more passion for the university. But to be a part of that and to see and to feel the passion from the audience, and it was exuded through all the vendors that were a part of the event, is truly unlike anything that we've ever been a part of. And working with partners like that, it comes along, I don't know. Rarely. Yeah. It's crazy to be able to see that. And we view all of our clients in that respect as partners. But that event was, you don't put 21 years into a university and throw a little party in a ballroom.
Well, and think of the other transitions that he's had.
Yeah.
It wasn't just celebrating what he did at USD, but his legacy of his life and his
everything
family
he's done for the state and the country, and it was pretty awesome to see everybody come together. But
it was more than just an event.
Yeah,
and I think we all took it that way too. But that doesn't mean that other events, and you kind of alluded that, don't have that same level of satisfaction, because every event has a great level of satisfaction when it's completed, especially when you're getting emails a couple of days later. Oh my God, thanks so much for
we're helping to fulfill their dreams. Truly, that's what we're doing. And everybody has a different vision. They may want a dinner party for 10 people at their home. They may want 1,000 people at the event. It may be a festival of 27,000 people. We are there to help build those dreams and fulfill them. That's our goal.
Yep. That's our goal. I think with what we've done too is not everyone knows exactly what they want, and I think that's something we've found out very quickly. But every single person you work with knows what they won't accept. And if you're able to take it from that perspective, then you can work forward to what they are really looking for without them knowing.
Yeah,
that's probably the most gratifying thing. So,
well, we've got a lot of events coming up here in the next few months to round out the year and starting for planning for 2019. It's crazy all the events that we're planning already for the coming year. But
it is, but it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we hope for. When we establish our businesses, we don't hope for
them.
short-term success. We look for long-term relationships, and being able to build collaborative events that we've been able to build, I think, gives us a lot to look forward to. And it also is cool because some of these people become family too.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah.
Who knows? I may adopt you. Oh, you're older. Sorry, you have to adopt me.
Adoption process. But
well, before we end, I'm sure you've seen on past vodcasts, we have our fun top 10.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask you these questions.
Okay.
And I want you to think of what comes out of your mouth the first thing. Don't spend too much time thinking about them.
Okay.
These are just some fun get to know you. So,
deal.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
Yeah, I can tell. What's your all-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie?
We were just talking about The Greatest Showman.
I love that.
I do.
That
but
movie.
Is that your all-time favorite movie?
I don't know. If you talk about the movie that I've watched the most, Tombstone is probably my favorite movie. Yeah.
I may have seen that one.
Love that movie. Val Kilmer. Great
What
movie.
would be the one song on the soundtrack of your life?
That's tough.
Why? This is your area.
I love music.
Yeah.
But you can't put someone's life into a synopsis of a 3.5-minute song.
Do you know what mine was? It was Shout.
I could see that.
Sarah Moggs, I'm just helping you out here. It was
Sure.
I'm a Bitch by, what was her, Meredith, whatever.
Yeah, Meredith Brooks.
So you've got a good one.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't know that I do.
We'll let you pass on that one.
Okay.
What's your favorite time of the year?
My favorite time of the year is summer. I love summer.
Where is your favorite place that you've traveled?
Favorite place that I've traveled? Jamaica, because it was recent and it's top of mind. But yeah, Jamaica was amazing.
Favorite aisle in the grocery store?
Favorite aisle? Oh, man. Much to my dismay, probably the meat aisle. Proteins.
I love meat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate, that's helping us produce this podcast, who is a vegan, but we like meat. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Read people's minds.
Oh, that's a good one. What am I thinking now?
Why don't you think of that?
If you could share a meal with one person, who would it be? Living or dead?
One person, living or dead. Probably Freddie Mercury, honestly.
Oh, that's awesome. What's your best piece of advice?
Best piece of follow your dreams, but don't lose your head where your heart is.
Oh, that's a good one. I love it. Thank you so much for
No
being here
problem.
today.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see what we dream up next.
Me too. Stay tuned.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Good Work, and a special thank you to our friend Chris Hintz of Pinnacle Productions for joining us. Tune in next week as we talk about the site of inspiration, Pinterest. Don't forget to subscribe to The Good Work on YouTube and iTunes, and follow the event company on social media to stay up to date on the good work that we are part of each day.